Hey guys, welcome to this channel if you haven't seen me before. This is my third video and I hope it goes well. Today I'll be giving you my top 5 tips that helped me go from this to this. Now, it didn't happen overnight, but I'm happy to tell you that there are 5 simple ways in which life became easier for me when getting to my end goal. And well, I'll just break it down for you in 5 tips. Tip number 1, calorie counting. It's a very simple thing to do and it's very useful. The most useful thing, in fact, it's the only thing that really matters if you want to gain or lose weight, regardless of muscle and fat. It is the one and only thing that really matters. And the reason for this is because calories just resemble the amount of energy you consume or the energy you expend. It's a measure of energy, and therefore it is very useful when considering if you want to gain weight, you have to eat more energy than you use up, and the same thing if you want to lose weight. You want to burn off more energy than you eat. So for this simple reason, it's the most important thing because you don't even have to exercise or have a specific diet or anything. You just have to make sure that in that diet and within that exercise regime, all you do is have a deficit. A deficit meaning you use up more energy than you eat. And well, that's if you're losing weight. In the case where you want to gain weight, it's the opposite. For a simple understanding of how calories work, we can consider a 500 calorie daily deficit. And 500 calories is manageable for most people. And 500 calories will result in roughly half a kilogram weight loss a week. Maybe like half a pound to a pound for those that use pounds. And it's a very good starting point for anyone that wants to lose some belly fat or get some abs or get really lean for summer. It works for everyone. No one is an exception to the rule when it comes to calories, and that's why it is the most important thing in my opinion if you want to lose weight, especially if you're obese or overweight. To get the most out of calorie counting, you should probably download an app or something. The one I use is FitnessPal. It's a great tracker for calories. Just make sure you weigh everything correctly. At the start, it might be difficult to get used to like noting down calories, etc. But like something like a fitness tracker like MyFitnessPal really helps. Not sponsored. It's amazing and it's so simple to use. You can scan the barcodes off of like certain products. It will give you the calorie count. It might not be exact, but it's a good starting point for how many calories you consume and burn off in a day. You can also type in how much exercise you did, etc. It's pretty difficult to get how much you burn through exercise, but you won't be burning, I think, as much as you think. As long as you keep tracking your calories and you know how much you burn off and eat in a day, and you know you're not gaining weight or losing weight, you know then that that's your maintenance where you don't gain or lose weight, and from that you can, you know, lower the amount of calories you eat or increase the amount of calories you don't eat, and that way you might be able to lose weight. And it's very effective. It works for everyone. It helps. And on to tip number 2. So tip number 2 is, I forgot. Oh yeah. So tip number 2. We're getting on to your exercise and rest now. So exercise and rest is very important. What do I mean by exercise and rest? Well, first things first, have a plan. Know what you're doing. Are you just going to the gym, bodybuilding, just, you know, or gaining strength, lifting weights? Or maybe are you training to run? Or maybe you're training to cycle or dance or something. Whatever it is, make sure you have a plan. For me, it was the gym. What I can tell you is it really helped to split up the muscles I was working out. So the reason for this is because your body needs time to recover. After a heavy training session or a very intense training session, you need time for your muscles to regain the energy and recover from the stimulus that you gave them. The lifting the weights, that's the stimulus in this case. For your body to recover, you must not exercise. So having an adequate amount of time between exercises, you should probably aim to split up your training regime. For example, I'll just give you an example. You train your back, on the next day, train your chest. Or if you train your back and chest on one day, then maybe train your legs on the next day. You know, just don't do the same thing twice or 3 times in a row. Obviously you can go for it. It won't make that much of a difference when it comes to losing weight or gaining weight, but it will have an effect on like muscle that you keep or maintain. That's another thing you have to consider, right? Are you just losing weight, or are you trying to build something underneath? After all, you don't want to just become skinny after being fat. You have to have some strength left over. So hopefully you exercise adequately to maintain the muscle you had or build on it. Okay, and from this we go on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is around protein. And yes, you've heard this one too. Protein is very important. It is the building blocks of what our muscles are made of. So yeah, to build muscles, you should, or maintain them even, you should make sure you have enough protein, especially when you're losing weight. How much protein, you may ask? There's a lot of numbers going around. The most popular number people like to use is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I don't know why there's grams and pounds in the same sentence, but it's very useful. This should be more than enough actually to help you build muscle or keep it. And if you're on your weight loss journey, just keep closer to the 1 gram per pound than less. As long as you keep to that number, you should be fine. And yeah, make sure your deficit isn't too big. When you lose weight too quickly, your body might want to compensate by burning muscle. So yeah, if you want to build muscle, stay strong and healthy, just eat your protein and make sure it's around 1 gram per pound. Tip number 4, and this goes back to rest kind of, and it is sleep. So you will need to be getting enough sleep anyway just to be healthy. Nevertheless, if you're exercising, it becomes even more important because your body recovers during sleep. So how much to sleep? Good. I like that you asked that. 8 hours is probably good for most people. Some people need more, some people need less, but I would not recommend sleeping under 7 hours. Pretty much no one survives on 6 hours. At least no one survives and has a healthy lifestyle from 6 hours of sleep. Especially in the long term, this will have an effect. So in the short run, yeah, sure, sleep 5 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, but then when you're 50 or 60 or 80, you're going to regret not sleeping more. So make sure you sleep at least 8 hours or around that, depending on who you are. And this sleep is just generally good for everything, for your health, mental, physical, for your stress. It's a great stress reliever. Okay, now tip number 5, the last tip of the day, and this is just as important as any of the other ones, and honestly all these tips kind of are as important as each other. So what is this tip? Well, be consistent and happy about what you do. Honestly, it's important that you start this journey and you keep on it. Consistency, being happy are like 2 things that you need for you to be successful. If you give up after a month, you're not going to get the results you wanted in a year. And the same thing goes for being happy. You're not going to stay consistent if you're just miserable doing everything and not happy. And also it has an effect on whatever you want to gain. For example, if you want to gain muscle, being sad does have a negative effect. Being happy has a positive effect. So in short, be happy, be consistent, and you'll see the gains come. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you haven't, please give me a dislike. And and see you in the next video. Better quality hopefully. Bye.